Hello and welcome back to some more RimWorld. So last time we left off, all of our guys died, minus these two. And they finally made it to the new vault that we tracked down. And there's even two people already awake inside. So, same old story. Kind of start hacking open these doors and getting inside and looting it for everything it's worth. And there's even one more Crypto Sleep casket that's not open yet, so we're gonna have to get to work on that pretty soon. But we're just gonna fast forward to when I've gone through all these rooms and looted everything, because we have some more super nanites and everything else like that, and we even find an armory. Now all that was left to do was to hack our way to the outside world. And Lord knows that always takes a little while, so let's speed it up a bit, shall we? Halfway through, I did notice that Sab had this unique ability to be able to phase through walls. So I figured I'd try and use it to at least maybe get a head start on hacking some of the other areas, or maybe even just looting. But it did prove to be a bit of an issue because I couldn't seem to get it to work in the bunker for whatever reason or another. And it only has limited on uses, so it was back to hacking. We also did eventually open that final Crypto Sleep casket and got Singrick Song. I don't know, he's very smart, that's all that matters. He's a very smart fella. So naturally, we put him right back to work hacking the doors. Now with our new colonists freshly extracted from this vault, it was time to strip it of anything of value and head back to home sweet home. And of course we grabbed the coordinates for the next ancient vault on our way out. And with the spoils of our ancestors pilfered, pillaged, and otherwise looted, it was time to head home. On our way home, this unfortunate animal did crash land here, but there was nothing we could do as we were still a good few days away, so looks like it was just gonna have to die. On the way there, we did get a nice little message for Ship to the Stars, which is if we manage to get all the way down here on the opposite side of the map, we can fight off a couple waves of enemies and finish the game and escape to space. But we are in no shape to be doing that right now, so I just figured we'd head on with our journey back home. And speaking of home, we were just about back home, where we would find a couple of corpses still waiting for us.
installing the 2 new turrets we got and the fancy medical bed, and maybe just cleaning up corpses that have been left here for a couple weeks while we've been away. It was time to set off on some more expeditions to prevent our guys from befalling the same fate as our previous colonists. So immediately I decided to set a new expedition to the next vault location that we had just uncovered, in hopes that they would bring back more resources and colonists before the starvation set in, and maybe that our crops would grow in the meantime. And to test our new defenses, we had a pack of wild wolves attack, and it did not go very well for them, but it made it very evident that we need more defenses, because they did just kind of waltz right into the vault. With the help of our automated turrets, we did manage to take both of them out pretty easily. Our only casualty somewhat was men, but we did get some food out of the deal. So, you know, all in all, zero-sum game. Now with men on the mend, get it? Minus a small infection, which I'm sure won't come back to haunt us anytime soon, and some fresh food, everything was going pretty decent back at home. Well, up until one of our guys went berserk and proceeded to go down and beat the absolute shit out of the already hospitalized men. But in some good news, our colonists had finally made it to the new bunker, and there was already a guy waiting outside, strangely enough.
Oh, I think it is. I think it is.
And as we imprisoned our only remaining original colonist, Crowslayer, our guys back at the vault got right to work trying to crack it open so we can get to all the goodies inside. And getting in there would definitely significantly improve our manpower, as there's one guy already in there, and then we have 3 crypto sleep caskets that remain unopened. Fingers crossed that they're good colonists. But unfortunately, I got distracted trying to crack open the vault, and then I realized something that was a little off at home. Where was our prisoner? And as they weren't a colonist anymore, I couldn't locate them on the colonist map. So I just resorted to looking around, and there Crowslayer was. Far too far away for me to recapture him. So they're just gonna leave the map. Meanwhile, back at the other vault, we were having slight issues with a bug problem, but nothing a couple exploits couldn't fix. And with that, we had free access to the new vault, and we could begin looting. But with one death came another. Our dear friend Min finally succumbed to his infection and wounds, even with the advanced medical bed that we had, as none of our people were too medically inclined. And our other colonist was not doing too well trying to share the workload of an entire colony by himself. Thankfully, though, with invasions coming in, we did have the automated turrets to protect us. I mean, look at this guy. He's going up against a fucking Terminator and you think it's gonna work. So we buried men and carried on. while I was continuing to loot, scavenge, and otherwise pillage this new vault that we found, we got a deserter quest to show up, which means that he was going to be chased by some people, but I'm never one to turn down new recruits, so Heracles, or Hercules, whatever the fuck we're going to call him, Hercules from now on, joined our crew. He came with some decent gear and weapons, a machine gun and some other stuff, and eventually his tail followed suit too. He did have a shield on him, but he had some shitty melee weapons and we could just kite him around. And we were also getting attacked at the new vault, so we had to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and rally the troops. So after all was said and done, we stripped our new prisoner of all his belongings, or should I say fuel source, because we don't have the food for that. Raids did continue to happen at the other vault while we were still looting and deconstructing everything, but it was fine because it was just more loot and more weapons to take back with us. So we grabbed the super nanites and all the important gear that goes with it, because that's part of our guys' whole religion and deal, or ideology, I guess you could say. And we packed up to head home. Now with our new caravan of settlers heading back to the original colony and our stockpiles as well as our resources of human beings replenished, the only thing left to do is to begin anew and hope to survive.